Hello, everyone. A very good afternoon to all of you. How are you all doing? Great. Okay. So, welcome to Swiflearn online classes. As you already know, that Swiflearn is the India's most sincere learning destination for classes 1 to 10. Over here, all the classes are 100% live and interactive classes. So, if you have any sort of doubt in the concept, you can ask to the teacher in the classes only, and the teacher will explain everything, all the concepts in the classes, right? Secondly, we give personalized attention to each and every student क्योंकि हमारे पर बैच में maximum 6 students रहते हैं. This help us to keep an eye on you, how you are doing, and definitely we will help you to do better. And the student can also ask any sort of question regarding the topic without any hesitation. So this is all about the personalized attention and our batches. So these batches can be of 1 student or 2 student or maximum 6 students are there in each of the batches, right? Coming to the third thing, that is we have a very good dedicated academic mentor team who continuously keep a track how you are progressing, and definitely you will get the feedback. This feedback will help you to understand where you are, whether you are doing well or not, and in which parameter you need to improve. So these are the different things which are done by our academic mentor team, and accordingly you will get to know about your progress, right? Hi Pragya, good afternoon, beta. How are you doing? Okay, coming to the fourth thing that is very, very important, that is we cover the syllabus as per your school examination schedule if you have any topic which is coming in the school exam, but we have not done it yet. So we will do those topics first and then we will move on to the rest of the topics which are coming in your grade, right? So this type of custom request generally we handle. So these are all about SwiftLearn general features. Now let us see why the SwiftLearn is totally different from any other online platform. First of all, we maintain a detailed progress report of each and every students. और ये detailed progress report में आपका understanding capacity, आप homework कर रहे हो या नहीं, आपका कौन से parameter में you are lagging, and which parameters or in which topic you are totally prepared, which topic there is you have to practice and prepare yourself. So everything will be given in detail, and according to that we will have the PTM also. जैसे आपके स्कूल में भी PTM होता है, इधर भी होगा, and your parents can directly interact with us. If they have any feedback to share with us, they are always welcome, right? Now, coming to the second thing, we have the SAT. This is the scholarship test for you all. So, this is Swiflearn Academic Test Series, which happen in every Sunday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. You will be able to do that, and your name and the rank will be given on your leaderboard. Coming to the third and the fourth, very, very important thing, as you already know that practice makes a man perfect. So after completing, revising your chapters from your textbook, from the different notes which are supplied by SwiftLearn, so what you have to do is you have to practice writing the question answers. So we have a lot of different practice tests, mock test, assessment, the different question papers of different schools. So over there you will get both the objective and subjective questions. तो objective question में जैसे आपका MCQ, true and false, match the column, ये सारे different questions मिल जाएंगे, you will solve. And subjective answer के लिए like 3 mark 5 mark का जो questions आते हैं, this type of question you will get, and you will have to write down the answer and submit it along with the diagram, any graph or any chemical equation which is needed based on the different subjects. So you can write it and submit it so that we can check it, and we will give you the tips and tricks how to write the answer according to the different marks, so that you will never miss or never lose any marks in the school exam as well as the board exam, right? Now let's move on to the topic. Before that, let me tell you that please book the free trial class. All the trial classes are free of cost if you have not booked it yet, and then experience all these features of SwiftRun, and then you enroll your name in our regular batches so that we will meet every day in the regular batches, right? Vyomkesh, how are you? Yes. So do not forget to subscribe our channel also. Whoever has not subscribed it yet, please do it now and press the bell icon so that you will never miss any of the update of the upcoming sessions. And do not forget to like, comment and share also. So let's begin with today's topic. Today you already know that we are going with a chapter that is the economic importance of bacteria and fungi. And over here we have already done with the two sessions. We have already done with the total structure, function of bacteria, as well as the structure and function, their reproduction, and the different classifications of fungi, right? So fungi and bacteria we have already done with them, with their structures, reproduction processes, and their classification. So in today's session, basically we are going to focus on the bacteria and what are the good effects and the bad effects of bacteria. As you already know that microorganisms are our friend as well as our foe, right? They are also our enemies sometimes. They cause a lot of different types of diseases. So today mainly we are going to discuss about the bacteria, how they can be useful or beneficial to us, how they can be used in medical industries, in the different other industries, food industries, agriculture and all. And also we'll discuss about the harmful effects or the different types of disease caused by the bacteria. Okay, I hope all of you are ready for the session. Yes or no? Okay, and let me again remind you, whoever will give me most of the answers correctly in the chat box, you will be the student of the session. I'll write your name at the end of the session on the screen, right? चलो, तो हम स्टार्ट करते हैं द बैक्टीरिया एंड their good effects and the bad effects. So you already know that bacteria are sometimes beneficial for us. They help in a lot of different types of physiological processes within our body alone. Along with that, the different types of things which we eat or which we use, they help to make them all, right? And also there are the bacteria which cause a lot of different types of infection, the different types of diseases inside our body. Now see what are the different bad bacteria. So first of all, number one good bacteria is the bifidobacteria. What is the main use of this bacteria? It basically lives within our stomach and they helps in the process of digestion of the food. Okay. Secondly, you can see over here the lactobacilli. Lactobacillus is a very common bacteria. You already know that they help in making the cheese, yogurt, and curd, and these are the different things uh, which are made by the lactobacillus. Third is the Escherichia coli or E. coli in short we call, and they basically help in producing the proteins and the different type of functions which the proteins do. These are all used in mainly the modern biotechnological processes. Yes. Okay. So let's move on to the different bad bacteria now. So the different bad bacteria which we can see over here are the Campylobacter, Enterococcus faecalis, and Clostridium difficile. Okay, so over here you can see Campylobacter is the bacteria which can cause diarrhea within our body. Next, we can see over here the Enterococcus faecalis, which can cause a lot of different types of infections in the urinary tract or the prostatitis or intra-abdominal infections. These are basically caused by them. Hi, Suresh, how are you? And the third one you can see is the Clostridium difficile. They also cause the inflammation of colon. So these are the different bad bacteria which cause a lot of different types of infections within our body. Yes, up to this much clear hai? Yes. Okay. Now let's move on to the different beneficial effects of the bacteria in the different fields. So as we already know that bacteria has a huge role in the different types of fields, right? So first of all, it is used for producing a lot of different types of things like the antibiotics and um, like making of the different serum, the toxoid and vaccine. So these are hugely used in the medicine. Then it is also used in the industries, the different types of industries for making the different types of products. And definitely they are used in the agricultural field also for making a lot of different types of thing, right? So let us see one by one what are the different things which we get from the bacteria. So first of all, you can see here in case of the medicines or the medical industries, they basically help in. Acha, your name is Mohani Prasad. Hi Mohani, how are you? Okay, so the first one is to make the antibiotics. We will see what are the antibiotics and how basically bacteria help in making the antibiotics. Secondly, the serum. What are the serum? How they help? In the third thing that is made by the different bacteria as well as the different virus, those are basically vaccines. So vaccines, you are very common with that. We are so much worried about taking the vaccines now, the different co-vaccine, covishield vaccines which we are taking for fighting out the coronavirus. You already know. We will see what are the vaccines and what is their help, or why do we use them, and then we will move on to the toxoid, right? So one by one, let us see what are they. First of all, the antibiotics. Antibiotics, you already know that they are also called the antibacterial because they used to stop the growth of the bacteria within our body. So, if you have any sort of diseases which are caused by bacteria, you go to the doctor and the doctor prescribe you with the antibiotics. Yes, so basically the antibiotics may be the penicillin, streptomycin, these types of things. So what happen when the we take the antibiotics, the antibiotic do not let the bacteria to grow, and the production of the cell wall of the bacteria is totally stopped over here within our body, and that is why the bacteria will not be able to grow, and finally the bacteria will be killed, right? So these are all produced by this, and these bacteria are made from these antibiotics are also made from the different types of living organisms only. Do you know who first discovered the antibiotics? Yes, any idea? Okay, so hi Satish, how are you? Acha, you are having antibiotics now. Great. Very good. Alexander Fleming. Yes, exactly. Pragya, very good. Alexander Fleming was the first scientist who discovered antibiotics. And can you name the antibiotic which was first discovered? And what is the use of that? Penicillin. Great. You know a lot, beta. Can anybody tell me? Yes, Penicillium notatum is the fungi from where this penicillin was extracted by Alexander Fleming. And what is the cure? Why do we use the penicillin? For treating which disease? Quickly, quickly. Okay, this is a question for you. Okay, let me get the answer from you. Okay, now let's move on to the serum. So, what do you mean by serum? Serum is nothing which is just present within our blood only. So, you already know that the blood, if I divide its composition, so we will get the two main parts. One is the liquid part, one is the cellular part. So, liquid part को हम plasma कहते हैं, right? And this plasma basically help in like this plasma basically have a lot of different type of proteins, right? And these proteins may like it include the fibrinogen, prothrombin and so on, which help in clotting the blood. If you have any wound, so those prothrombin, fibrinogen, they basically help to clot the blood over there. Now if we just keep it away, keep the fibrinogen and prothrombin away from the plasma, then the fluid which we are getting, we call that fluid as the serum. Okay, yes beta, you were totally correct. Okay, so this is known as the serum, and the serum is nothing but it is an antitoxin only, so that we can fight out a lot of different type of diseases. They basically give a proper defense mechanism of or immunity to our body, so that we can fight out the different types of diseases. Yes, so blood clotting factor 8 is one of them, which helps in treatment of hemophilia. Okay, Now coming to the third thing, that is the vaccine. The vaccine is very common to, we already know that. So vaccine is what? It is nothing but the weakened strain of bacteria or the weakened strain of virus, so that if we take the vaccine, so the main weak or the dead microorganism is basically going inside our body, but they are so weak that they will not be able to produce the disease in our body. But we have a lot of different types of WBCs. Within that, there is one type of cell which is known as the memory cell. So the memory cell will be able to find it out, and it will keep it inside the memory that what type of bacteria or virus is coming inside our body, so that they can basically uh, produce a new variety of the antibodies. They can produce the antibodies against it. So later on, if the same type of bacteria and virus can enter inside our body, then what will happen? Our WBC, they already have it in their memory cells now, so they will fight it out, and they will not let the disease cause any sort of harm to our body. Yes, this is the main role of the vaccine. Okay, and that is why these vaccines are utilized as the most important immunization method. So we have to take the vaccine for the coronavirus also, so that even if the virus get inside our body, at least our body can produce the different types of antibodies. The different WBCs within our body will produce the different antibodies, so that they will not cause any strong harmful effect within our body. Up to this much clear, Hannah? Yes, it's weak sometimes and it's dead. Okay, Pragya got it. Okay, chalo. So the administration of this vaccine, when we are basically taking the vaccine, the process is known as vaccination, and there are a lot of different types of vaccine. So Covaxin, Covishield, you already know these are the vaccines of the coronavirus, and you already know that the babies take the different types of vaccine just after birth, like the polio vaccine, the BCG for preventing the tuberculosis, TAB for preventing the typhoid, and so on. Yes, up to this much clear hai? Okay, so Suresh, you can write it down basically. Which chapter? Mohani. I'm very sorry, Mohani. You can write it down. The chapter. Okay. Now, let's move on to the fact that you already know this, and you already told me the first vaccine, the first antibiotics which was made or which was discovered by Alexander Fleming, that is nothing but the penicillin, right? Now, let's move on to the next part of it, like how we can use them in the other different industries. Okay, okay, human skeleton. So, we will do that. Yes, Suresh? Sorry, Mohani? Got it? Chalo. So the curing of the tea is the very first one, and the curing of the tea is the process which help to ferment the tea so that they can give a lot of different types of flavors and taste to us. Okay, so this process is known as curing. So there are the different types of bacteria which basically are used for this giving the flavor and taste to the tea leaves. For example, is the Bacillus megaterium. This is one bacteria which helps in the curing of the tea. Now, let me tell you one thing, that whenever you are going to write any scientific name like this, so you can see this is in the printed form, or you can see it on the screen. So that is why it is basically maintained by writing in a italics. So when you will write it in the copy, always remember the genus name. This is the genus name, and this one is the species name. You already know that, right? So the genus name will always start with capital letter, and the species name should always start with the small letter. Always keep it in mind. These are the rules for writing the scientific names, and while you will write it, please do underline them. Underline the genus and the species name separately. Okay, do underline the genus and the species name separately. Now you are in class 9, so you have to practice this type of writing in biology mainly from now. Okay, start writing like this. When you are writing the scientific name, start the genus name with capital letter, species name with small letter, and do underline them with the same pen separately. Okay, separately. Don't do it together. No, this is not the rule. Up to this much clear है ना? Chalo. So let's now move on to the other different uses of bacteria. We already know the lactobacillus is one type of bacteria which are hugely used in the dairy industries, right? For the different fermentation process, we basically get the cheese, the cumis, the ripening of the cheese, yogurt, curd. We all get that, and we get the different specific aroma for that, which is also done by the growth of the bacteria, mainly the lactobacillus. Next is the retting of fibers. What do you mean by retting? Have you ever heard of the retting? Yes, retting is nothing but the process of extracting the fibers so that the other different cellular tissues must be rotten, or it will be rot away, and it will be given away so that the main fiber we will get from it. Like if you think about the hemp and the flax, so they contain the tannin and pectin. So this tannin and pectin are broken down with the help of the different bacteria. So those bacteria will break them down, and the rotting will take place so that they can be removed very easily, and we can get the main fiber from it, the very softer tissue, the main fiber we will get it. And this process of separation of the stem and the leaf fiber is known as the retting process. Okay, so retting of fiber is also done by the bacteria. Okay, up to this much clear hai? Yes, tissue also I'll do it. Okay, chalo. Now let's move on to the bacteria which are used in the different agricultural industries. So you already know that it has a huge role in growing of the crops, right? So the main cycle which is followed in growing the crop is the nitrogen cycle. You have already studied about the different types of biogeochemical cycles, like the carbon cycle, oxygen cycle, sulfur cycle, phosphorus cycle, and the most important is the nitrogen cycle. So we will discuss about the nitrogen cycle over here. Okay, I have already taught tissue. I have to see. Okay, if it is there, so you can find it in our library only, the Swiflearn library. Okay, now coming to the how the different bacteria help in the agricultural field. So there are the different types of bacteria, like the nitrogen fixing bacteria and the nitrifying bacteria. So nitrogen fixing bacteria क्या करते हैं? They actually fix the atmospheric nitrogen in certain forms so that it can be readily used up by the plants. It can be taken by the plants directly from the soil. And nitrifying bacteria क्या करते हैं? The nitrifying bacteria basically convert the ammonia to the nitrites and nitrate. This can again be readily used up by the plants. Okay, so let us see what are the examples of this nitrifying bacteria and nitrogen fixing bacteria. So over here the different nitrogen fixing bacteria are given. So biologically nitrogen is fixed by them, like the rhizobium, azotobacter, clostridium. These are the different bacteria which convert the atmospheric nitrogen molecules into the form which will be readily taken up by the plants from the soil. Okay, this help in the fixing of the nitrogen inside the soil. And nitrifying bacteria basically convert the different nitrogenous waste materials from the dead plants and animals and convert them into nitrates, and this process is known as nitrification. It is basically done by the bacteria. I'm writing down the name of the bacteria, please note it down. Nitrobacter. ठीक है? So nitrobacter basically help in converting the ammonia to the nitrate and nitrite, which will be readily used up by the plants. And this is done because like the NH4 which is present in the ammonia, this NH4 gas is very much toxic for the plant body. So they should be converted into nitrates and nitrites. So these are the nitrites and these are the nitrate compounds so that it can be readily taken by the plants. Up to this much clear hai? Any question till now? Yes? Okay. Now, see, this is the nitrogen cycle altogether. Okay, so you can see that the atmospheric nitrogen can be fixed in the different ways. It can be fixed in physical, like lightning processes. It can be fixed in the with the help of the different industrial processes, as well as the bacterial process or the biological process. So we will mainly discuss about the biological process over here, where the nitrogen, the atmospheric nitrogen, will be fixed with the help of the nitrogen fixing bacteria. So nitrogen fixing bacteria will be your rhizobium, blue green algae, cyanobacteria जो हमने already पढ़ चुके थे. Azotobacter, Clostridium, they used to fix the nitrogen within the soil. Then they will convert it into, with the help of the ammonification, they will convert into the ammonia. And finally, with the help of the different nitrifying bacteria, it will be converted into nitrogen dioxide, nitrogen trioxide, or basically we call them as the compounds of nitrites and nitrates. And these nitrites and nitrates readily will be taken by the agricultural field, all the plants which are present within the agricultural field. And if not, which is known as assimilation, and if not, again it will be done by the denitrification bacteria. So denitrification bacteria में pseudomonas आएगा, clostridium आएगा, where the soil bacteria will be directly given out to the atmosphere. Okay, up to this much clear hai? Okay, so this is all about the nitrogen cycle, and this nitrogen cycle is very, very important for you. Okay. Okay, somebody is asking me about the putrefaction. Basically, it is nothing but the decomposition. Okay, this is nothing but the decomposition. Up to this much clear hai? Yes. Okay, now let's move on to the beneficial effects of bacteria in the other different uses also. Yes, Pragya, you can ask me. Now, certain bacteria you show their role as the scavenging role. Sometimes they produce the fuel. They help in the proper disposal of the sewage. So they are used in the sewage treatment plants. And there are definitely the different bacteria which are present in our body for making the varieties of vitamins. So let us see one by one what are their uses. First of all is the production of the fuel. So here the bacteria basically convert the cow dung and the different types of organic wastes to the manure, and this manure in turn will produce the different types of fuel like the gobar gas. So ये गोबर gas plant में जो गोबर gas use होता है, form होता है, these are used as the fuel. So this is all done by the different types of bacteria. Next is the disposal of the sewage. Okay, so the disposal of the sewage. Yes, Pragya, your question. Do rhizobium convert the nitrogen from air into soluble compounds of nitrogen, which are, yes, exactly, they basically convert them into the soluble compounds like nitrite and nitrate. ठीक है, तो एटमॉस्फेयर में क्या रहता है, नाइट्रोजन मॉलिक्यूल like N2 ऐसे ही, and this cannot be used up by the plants directly. So first they will be converted into nitrites and nitrates. It will be mixed up with the soil, which can be readily taken up by the plant. Up to this much clear? Yes. चलो, so disposal of the sewage. What do you mean by sewage? The wastewater. ठीक है, so whatever wastewater is going from our kitchen, from our washroom, it is going through the sewager and finally it is going to the sewage treatment plant. तो ये sewage treatment plant में it will go through the different processes. First it will go through the physical processes जहाँ बहुत ज़्यादा जो waste materials है उसको हटाएंगे. Then it will go through some biological processes and this biological processes is done by the bacteria. तो इधर क्या होगा, the biological process like the bacteria will decompose them and finally it will make the sewage so a little bit purer so that it will be a little bit good for the environment. Okay, and finally the most like सबसे ज़्यादा pure होगा when it will go through the chemical processes. तो physical, biological, chemical ऐसे करके 3 process से जाएंगे and finally the water will be a pure water. Up to this much clear है? Yes, rhizobium is the bacteria. Okay, now the next thing is the bacteria which are present in our body. What do they do? First of all, let us see the bacteria which are present in the ruminant animals. Ruminant animals क्या खाते हैं? Mostly they are herbivores, right? So they eat the plants and we already know that the plants are having a huge amount of cellulose. तो cellulose हम उतना डाइजेस्ट नहीं कर सकते हैं और वो भी उतना डाइजेस्ट नहीं कर सकते, but within their stomach they have certain bacteria. This bacteria help them to digest the cellulose, right? Up to this much clear hai? And within our intestine also we have certain types of bacteria which synthesize vitamin D complex as well as the vitamin K. So that is how and they definitely help in the digestion or processes in our body. So these are the different types of vitamins which are produced by certain types of bacteria within our body. Up to this much clear hai? Yes. Now let's move on to the last portion of the topic, that is the harmful effect of the bacteria. So harmful effect kya kya ho sakta hai? They can damage a lot of different types of things like the leather bag, belt, clothes and all of this. If we don't use and keep it for in a moist area for a long period of time, they can damage them. Secondly, food poisoning. The bacteria can be present within the food and if we eat that food, contaminated food, so the bacteria will get inside our body which can cause a lot of different types of diseases. Next is denitrification, which is very harmful for the plant. We will see how. Then the bioweapons can be made from that and they can cause a lot of different types of epidemics in a particular area. And the food spoilage. Okay, so if we do not store the food in the refrigerator or if we don't store the food properly, then the food can be damaged by the different bacteria. Clear hai na? So first one is the domestic articles. They are damaged by the different types of bacteria. One example is the Spirochete cytophaga. Okay, COVID is not considered as a bioweapon, beta, so it is not proved. Okay, so we cannot say this as the bioweapon. Okay, so Spirochete cytophaga deteriorates the cotton, leather, wooden articles. If you keep it for a long period of time without using it, without cleaning it, and if the bacteria get the favorable condition for them to grow, so they will be able to grow over there and destroy the articles. Then next is the denitrification. So denitrification basically happens due to the pseudomonas bacteria, the theobacillus, microbacillus. They basically convert the nitrate of the soil into the nitrogen, gaseous nitrogen, and this can hamper the plants very much. Hi Jasmine, how are you? Yeah, people are saying that, Pragya, but it is not true. It is not proved, basically. Next is the food spoilage. So you have already seen the rotten tomatoes or the rotten potatoes and very many such fruits and vegetables. So what happened over there, the bacteria grow on them, on the different sugar and the protein content of the food, and they produce the alcohol. So this production of the alcohol and ammonia basically waste the total taste and the smell of the food, and the appearance will become like this, which you can see over here. Okay, so this process is known as fermentation, and they destroy the total food. Hi Sunil, how are you? I hope that all of you have already subscribed our channel, right? And I guess you have all liked my video. Yes, click on the like button now. Chalo. Let's move on to the next thing which is caused by the bacteria is the food poisoning. You already know that the canned food, sometimes within the canned food also, if it is not properly preserved, then what happened, there is a certain type of bacteria that is known as the Clostridium botulinum, okay, which causes the botulism. So the process of converting the canned food or producing the toxic substances within the canned food, if it is not stored properly, this process is known as the botulism, and it is done by the Clostridium botulinum. This is the name of the bacteria. Okay, so these are very very fatal for our health, and it can cause a lot of different types of diseases within our body. Okay, मैं Yes, Sunil, you are asking me कहाँ से पढ़ा रहे हो? मतलब generally we follow the concise biology in case of ICSE board and NCERT in case of the CBSE board. ठीक है? Because these are the most common books which are followed by all the schools all over India. So we generally follow this one, and definitely we have a lot of different other knowledges, other different facts which are added in our slide. So you can see over here only. Okay. Next is the bioweapons. So bioweapons are also made up of the different types of bacteria which can cause a lot of different types of diseases and even death of the living organisms. So here the toxic substances which are used as a bioweapon are made by the bacteria. They can produce the epidemic also because they can multiply very quickly. So they need a very less amount of conditions, favorable conditions for their multiplication and growth. You already know that, and that is why they can grow so fast and they can be used as the bioweapons. So you can see over here the anthrax has been used as the germ bomb to spread the disease, epidemic disease. Okay. Next is the preservation of the food. We should preserve the food properly, otherwise the bacteria can grow in the different types of food. So we can do a lot of different processes. These are the different methods which we can follow, like boiling or heating at a high temperature can kill the bacteria. So it is always prescribed to boil the water and drink it if you have any sort of surgeries, and mostly in case of the newborn babies. Next is the strong concentration and the chemicals can kill the different bacteria. Third is you have to keep the food, if it is not used or eaten by you, keep it inside the refrigerator. If you keep it in the cold dry places, then the bacterial growth will not be there. Then the pasteurization, basically we do the pasteurization of milk and wine. So what happened over there in the milk, it is like boiled for at the temperature of 60 to 70 degrees for a long period of time, like 30 minutes, 25 to 30 minutes, so that even if there is any bacteria present within the milk, it will be killed, right? Yes, it first it is heated, and finally next it will be cooled. Yes, this is the pasteurization. Next, irradiation by using the different rays. Dehydration, sorry, that is the drying. If you keep it under the sun, then the water loss will take place, and if there is no moisture or no water in the food, then bacteria will not be able to grow over there. And there is the salting. Generally we preserve the fish, chicken and all within the refrigerator by marinating them with the salt and all, right? So you can just apply salt and keep it for 1 week or 2 weeks, so there will be no any bacterial growth because they cannot tolerate the saltiness or the salt over there. So these are the basic preservation of the food. So boiling, drying, refrigeration, these are the specific things where we can preserve the food without the growth of the bacteria on them. So drying, refrigeration is a very, very important thing. So if you are not using the food, you have to keep it inside the refrigerator, right? So let me tell you one fact, that bacteria can move about 100 times of its body length in only 1 second. Can you imagine? Yes. Okay. Let's now discuss the question answers. Let me see who can give me most of the answers correctly. So my first question is, what is the role of microorganisms in industrial production? In the industrial production, what is the role? Okay, you read it in school, Jasmine. Great, great. Yes, next question is, what are antibiotics, and name any two examples. So these are basically the like subjective questions, so you have to write it. So it will take time in the chat box to write all the answers. So let me tell you the answers so that you can write it properly in your school exams. Third one is, the tinned or is the tin and sealed food is safe to eat, and if yes or if no, you have to give the reason for of your in support of your answer. And the fourth one is, would there be any bacteria in an aquarium? एक्वेरियम में बैक्टीरिया रह सकते हैं या क्या नहीं? It's causing organism. Okay, great. Yes, yes. Chemical produced. Yes. Okay, so first, the role of microorganisms in industrials, definitely. So they are processing, they are helped in production of the vinegar, the coffee, the different processing of them, giving flavor to the tea, coffee, and all. Tanning of the leather may use hota hai. For getting the different fibers, rating of the fibers, we have already studied, and also for making the different antibiotics, hormone, serum, vaccine, they are used in the industries. Second questions tha, what are antibiotics, and what are the different examples? Very good. Streptomycin is the good example, Pragya. Thank you very much. Antibiotics are those chemicals which can kill or stop the growth of the bacteria within our body. ठीक है? So penicillin, streptomycin will be the different bacteria. Sorry, the different antibiotics. Next is, tinned or sealed food हमारे लिए safe है या नहीं? Definitely safe नहीं है, क्योंकि the Clostridium botulinum is the bacteria which can grow over there, and it can create poison. It can produce the poisonous toxic things, the toxic chemicals, and which is known as botulism. So these are very, very fatal for our health. And the last one is, bacteria can be present in aquarium or not. Everywhere bacteria is present. We cannot see the bacteria with the naked eyes. We have to see them under the microscope, then only we can see them. But they are present everywhere around us. Okay. Yes, Pragya, you have given me all the answers correctly. Thanks a lot for giving me the answers. Okay, so you can see you can find them in the air, water, soil, food, here and there, all the even in the definitely in the atmosphere. So everywhere you will find the bacteria. So let us see what we have already studied today. We have studied about the role of bacteria in the medicine for making the antibiotics, vaccines, serum, toxoids. Next, we have studied about the bacteria in the different industries, their role for making curing of the tea, dairy, leather, textile industries, and we have studied about the bacteria used in the agricultural processes, like bacteria which helps in the nitrogen fixation and the nitrification. Then we studied about the different harmful effect of bacteria, जैसे food spoilage करते हैं, food poisoning करते हैं, denitrification, bioweapon, and damaging the different domestic articles. These are the main harmful effects which are caused by the different bacteria. right? So this is all for today's session. We will again meet at 6 p.m. with the next session of this chapter. Okay, do not forget to join, and thank you very much. And today the student of the session again is Pragya. Thank you very much. Clap for Pragya. Yes, and thanks a lot to all of you, Jasmine, Satish, Mohani and Sunil. Thanks a lot for staying with us till the end of the session. We will again meet in the next session today at 6 p.m. Okay, we are going to discuss about the beneficial and harmful effect of fungi over there. And let me also remind you, whoever has not subscribed the channel, please subscribe it and press the bell icon so that you will never miss any of the update of the upcoming sessions. Okay, and do not forget to like, comment, and share. We will again meet at 6 p.m. with the next session. So till then, bye bye. Take care. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Bye bye.